Harry points out the FDA today rescheduled the missed PDUFA, which is the announcement for December 13th. So we're going to be holding this missed stock for a while, but sometimes it'll move up in anticipation of that. But again, I just bought the shares. I'm going to hold on to the shares. I may even buy a few more here. I don't know. But thanks for that, Harry. Appreciate it. Abbott down at $1.67 now on the strangle. Again, we paid $1.86 for it, $1.67. Again, if it's continuing down, it's fell below the 100 moving average, 100 simple moving average. MBLY not doing much of anything, however, but Abbott is still looking decent here as a short. As a strangle. 167. And here's the chart on Abbott. So it's making a pretty good move down here today. Now we've a couple of things we got to watch. See the bottom right here. See that candle right there. The bottom of that candle right there. That's going to be support level, and it's right there right now. So a breakthrough there would probably get us to the point where we'll be able to either break even or take a profit on Abbott. 167 right now. Again, I have a 186 sell order on it. I might change that if this keeps on down. If it breaks through this level, I'll change it from 186 to 196. All right? So you kind of keep you updated on that. It's not a published trade, but I know it's one that quite a few people are in. All right, I got a few YouTube folks in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Heaven, good morning. Syracuse, just curious, why did you sell your ad onto Microsoft? Because my whole point of selling that is I got a big enough position as it is, Syracuse. I'm in a fairly large size position on that thing. So the whole idea of that was just to add to it and just basically just keep peeling money off on the add-on, just like I did yesterday. You know, that's why I don't want to have too much risk in any one trade. So I put it on there, thinking that I could take it off this morning or today, and I did. That was the whole. I mentioned that when I took it. That was the whole point. I've still got plenty of Microsoft calls here, so I don't want to get over invested in any one particular position. So that's why I took it. That's why I took it off. And watching Abbott here, I'm very tempted to take this thing off. You got right down to the low from Wednesday, which was 131.47. The low today, 131.36, and trying to bounce a little bit. Again, it's still below the 100-day moving average, but I think I'm going to take it off. So, okay, I'm closing Abbott, and I just closed it for 165. Right, so I lost about 20 cents on it, which isn't bad considering what I was doing all day yesterday, but I'm out of Abbott now. 165 on Abbott is closed. Okay, lots of questions here. Uh, let's see. All right, Saran, you're not happy with Thinkorswim. Yeah, they have a few complaints this morning about it. Listen, this happens with every platform. Suzanne, you did your first real trade. Nice. Getting your feet wet on URGN. Yeah, I like URGN. I mean, I do like URGN. The setup is nice. The thing with the URGN, and I've mentioned this a few times on this particular stock. I mean, we made profits in this before when it got above here. I think I get in around here and get out right here. But a lot of people have been in it, and I said this thing is just compressing. It's a big, huge bull flag. You see the volume? See this big move sideways? This 1414 is a critical level. As long as it stays above there, and right now we're putting in a doji sandwich setup. There's a doji sandwich, a big green candle yesterday, blue on my chart, but green right here with a little bit of increased volume, and now a doji. So what we're looking for is this to move up. But the thing with this is it has room up here all the way to 2137 and then 2293. That's a big gap fill, which would for options would generate some pretty big profits if it gets there. All right. So again, we're out to August 15th, and it has earnings the 12th, so we got to get out before the 12th, but we still got quite a bit of time on it. Congratulations, Suzanne, and wish you the best of luck on the trade. What was the target on Microsoft? I was thinking about calls instead. Thinking about calls instead on Microsoft. I mean, I took calls on Microsoft. I don't know what you mean. You was thinking about calls instead. Abbott looking for a lot better. Maybe so. Again, I took it off because it got down to the low from Wednesday, which is going to be a support level. But it is below the 100-day moving average. But on a strangle with the expiring today, I took a 20-cent loss. I was down like a buck on that thing, so took a 20-cent loss on that. T2104. Still bearish. Very bearish today. T2104 is very bearish. That's why I'm very hesitant on longs right now. Again, I took my Abbott off for 20-cent loss. I took my profits in Microsoft on the add-on. I've got the original position. T2104 is still bearish. Spread too big on Abbott, you're not getting filled on it. I'll tell you on Abbott, let me look at that for a second. If you're having trouble getting filled on it and you want to take it off, just go ahead and sell the puts. We had the Abbott 133 puts. At 133 puts it going, geez, 82 by $1.67. Good grief. They really spread this thing out. And the calls are 5 by 4. There's no bid in there, and no bid in 5 cents on the calls. 82 by 167. Wow, that wasn't like that when I exited the trade. I don't know how these things got so spread out so wide. You just have to hang it out there and see what you can get on Abbott. And I was able to get closed on it for $1.65. I don't know how with this 82 by 167. Crazy. Just keep an eye on it. It still could go down here. You want to see it get below the previous low. If it gets below the previous low, you can ride it down a little bit. I mean, you're in the money right now by on the 133s. It's trading at 131.67, so you're in the money here by $1.40, right? So you have to be able, even if you put an order in to sell the 133s for $1.40, you'll get filled on it. It's 82 by 167, but you've got $1.40 of intrinsic value, which means you could just exercise the 133 puts, and you know, take possession of the stock and then just sell it, and you still make $1.40 on it. You still collect $1.40 on it. All right, let's see what we got here. We got some questions. So just remember your intrinsic value on it, Gary. You're always going to be able to get intrinsic value on it, right? So right now it's worth $1.37 intrinsic. If you just sell the calls, if you just sell the 133 puts, if you sell them for $1.36, you'll get filled, because that's intrinsic value. You're just getting paid what they're actually worth. Gary, get out $1.39. Okay. Yeah, it could keep going down. Again, this is the thing with something on the last day. You don't know. It could keep going down. But again, right now it's worth $1.53. But that reduces the loss to a manageable one, so that's fine. Again, I did take profits on my Microsoft add-on. SPY coming in a little bit here. Notice Microsoft is holding up with really good relative strength right now. But SPY right here at the VWAP. Again, I traded IWM for a short a little earlier. It's still a decent short, actually. It's just not moving around an awful lot. Triple Qs also coming down a little bit here. Pretty choppy market here this morning. URGN trading at 1433, still in the range we want it to be in. Again, MIST coming in, and as Ari pointed out, the PDUFA date has been moved up to December, so we're going to be holding these shares for a while. And again, I got out of Abbott, and it's coming back down again here now. Trading at 130, 130. Well, now it's about bucks, almost $1.70 in the money right now. So getting closer and closer to break even on that if you haven't gotten out. I did get out. I get out at $1.65. MBLY is just a waste of time, trading at 1640. Just slightly in the money on the put side by a dime. It needs to drop down about 30 cents below this, and then I would actually be able to get out at break even. SPY right on the VWAP, right on the VWAP. Q's just below the VWAP. IWM again, IWM the weakest index, but there's just not much movement here. Momentum is very, very weak here in IWM, but it's not moving around a lot. So I prefer to look for some stocks. This Levi moved up nicely. Don't know this one, VZLA. That's a Basic Materials. That says Vizsla's Silver Corporation. Silver's up today, as Ari had pointed out earlier. But nothing I want to trade. That's ASM is another silver stock. There's a gold stock. Precious metals are up here. Hood bouncing. TIGR, that's another financial company. Microsoft showing up here now as it continues up. The rest of these are stocks that are bouncing off the lows. Looked at coin lately. Again, not touching coin today. I'll be looking for some lottos this afternoon if we get any kind of setups that I like for lottos. Though not till later on today. Right now the market's this is really pretty lackluster here. Gap down, move up. Didn't fill the gap, now it's just moving sideways. Again, really just not much going on here. This is really flat. Momentum's down here, just chopping around. Market's just chopping sideways. This is low probability trading environment right here, right now. Q's starting to try to bounce. IWM also trying to bounce. Again, I'm out of Abbott for $1.65. I paid $1.86, so about 20-cent loss on that. MBLY is just horrible. It's not doing anything. Met my criteria, but it didn't work, so that's just the way it is. All right, let me check over here. All right. Welcome everybody on YouTube. Again, I did add to Microsoft today and then took profits in that add-on. I still got my original position. I also took profits in my SPY Strangle from overnight. Took a 20-cent loss on my Abbott Strangle. Added to MIST as well, by the way. Added some more shares to MIST. PDUFA been moved back to December 13th, I think Ari said. So I'm going to be holding these shares for probably 5 or 6 months. Again, it's not a huge position, but these are pretty cheap. You know, I paid about $2.40 for the original position and about $1.70 for my add-on. I did trade some INKT today. There's a Momo stock. Again, I'm not recommending these kind of stocks at all. I mean, I made good money on it here this morning. There's some ridiculous moves in these things. I mean, if you look at that candle right there, I mean, look at the move in this thing here, from 47.55 to 58. I mean, it's like $10 candle. So just be careful of these kind of things. Technically, it's a nice setup right here, bouncing off the VWAP. And on these things, you don't worry about momentum or anything else here. You just trade strictly price action. Don't see too much else from a Momo perspective to trade. That INKT is the best one by quite a lot. But it's expensive. It's a $50 stock now. I'm trying to bounce here. Yeah, T2104, very bearish. Yeah, I've been bearish all day. Market internal is very bearish right now. It's trying to put in a green candle here, but this T2104 has been coming down all day, which is why I was very hesitant about too much longs right now. And again, I took my Microsoft, which has had good relative strength, so I took my profits in that one. But the overall market internals right now are not good. If I pop up VOLD here, so for folks who don't have TC2000, you can see it's the VOLD. This is the volume up, volume down is pretty bearish right now. It's trying to bounce a little bit, the same as TC2000's T2104 is, but cumulative volume still bearish on market internals. By showing a little bit of life here, but I mean it hasn't really done much. These are really small candles. trying to creep out of the off of this VWAP here. And again, I'm watching the T2104 as well, which is the cumulative volume index, trying to bounce off of a low here. It hasn't really put in any bullishness at all yet today, but the T2104 is starting to try to get bullish. It's just on one candle, but the SPY momentum is moving up here pretty nicely, and this is a decent break over the VWAP with the potential move up to the pivot point. So it's a small SPY super system trade entry right here, small risk. I mean, if it breaks down below the 15, you can get out, but this has got a little bit of chance to run. It hasn't hit through the day's high yet. Okay, so it's still got to get through today's high, but it's a decent SPY super system setup. I'm just kind of watching the T2104 to see if it remains bullish on this 5-minute candle. It's definitely bearish for the day. I took some SPY calls, just a few, just to trade this SPY super system breakout as I watch the T2104 to see if that also is coming in. But took a small number of calls here on the SPY. 623s I paid $1.55 for. They're $1.67 right now. I'm not going to be very aggressive in this SPY. I'll put a sell order in at 20 cents higher. Watch this. T2104 is starting to back off a little bit, so I'm not going to be very aggressive with this SPY. I paid $1.55 for it. It's $1.65 right now. I've got $1.75. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Get some, we're getting some decent momentum, and we switch from selling to buying right here. We do have a pivot point up here. We haven't got through yesterday's high, late today's high yet, but I'm watching this really closely, and I'm going to take it off at 175 if I get there. I'm not going to try to ride this too high on a day like this. Okay, I'm out of it. I'm out of the SPY. I actually got 185 for it. So I get out for 30 cents on the SPY super system right there. Again, still moving pretty nicely, but this was a nice setup. It went long, momentum moving up, and that was nice. Heaven. Does the thinking behind the doji sandwich apply to lower time frames as well? No, it's just daily, just daily. Let me put it this way. I've never really done any kind of deep analysis on doji sandwiches on low time frames. 5, 15, 40, 4 hours. I haven't done any on that. But my suspicion is that they're not going to be as effective as the daily ones are, because the daily ones are just moderately effective, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 75%. But the thing with them, if they work, the gains can be pretty big, because if you're taking a doji sandwich off of a big candle, you can get a pretty big move, right? And I closed out my SPY calls, by the way. And CRDO, the 1 hour chart, it's reasonable to expect follow through if the next H candle breaks above the last doji. Let me look. CRDO on the daily, on the 1 hour. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it's doing right now. but I've never really done any kind of analysis on that. You could try doing some analysis on it, on those kind of time frames. I don't use the 1 hour. I don't use the 4 hour. I just use the daily. Harry, Google with relative strength. Thank you very much. So I don't know, Heaven, if that's going to work or not going to work. I mean, you're taking a stock that's fairly bullish today. It's up 2%, and that CRDO is a very nice setup just for long term. Longer term for a swing type trade. So, and under those circumstances, you could just take it and hold on to it. But for trying to do quick intraday trades, I'd much rather use a 5-minute chart on it and just trade it as it breaks through, like the VWAP, or bounces off the 8, something like that. Peter, when I say the SPY order again, well, I'm in and out of it already. I took the, I don't remember what I took here. I took profits in it, but I took the, today's expiration, 623 calls. I get in at $1.55, and I get out at $1.85 on the SPY calls. 30 cents, not bad for that quick trade. Took it right here on this break above here, right here, the breaks above the VWAP. But again, I don't like the T2104 is bearish today. It had one little green candle there, and then it switched right back to red again. So I'm out. Took 30 cents there, and I took, I think IWM, I think I took 20 cents today so far on the SPY Super System trade. So up about 50 cents on the SPY Super System trades, which isn't bad on a choppy day like this. Again, I did close out my Abbott for 165, so I took about a 20-cent loss on that. I closed out my SPY Strangle from overnight, made about 25% on that one. And I took a Microsoft, I took an add-on at 10.25 this morning and sold at 11.25. It's trading at 12.50 right now, by the way. So our original position, we're up to 12.50 on those. And I did trade INKT this morning for a pretty nice gain, about $7 or $8 a share. And I added MIST, which has been continuing to drop down. It's trying to bounce a little bit right now. That is going to be a long-term hold, likely 4 or 5 months, unless I get some kind of a dramatic move in it. Okay. Coming up on about 11:45. Let's see, we get some questions here. Would I mind sharing the type of sell order I put on it? All I did was when I get in it, I put a sell order in. I get in at 155. I put a sell order in at 175, and I get filled at 185 because it popped right there. And the spreads get a little bit wider, and I get filled on it. I guess, I don't know, but I get filled at 10 cents higher than my bid. But I always put a limit order in. I always put a limit order on when I enter or exit. I always do limit orders. Is playing with a limit versus OCO when it is good within profits? Yeah, I mean, you can do an OCO when you're in profit. Sure, you can put one cancels the other. You can put a sell order at a higher price or a lower price for your exit. But what's more effective is to do is a trailing stop. Use a trailing stop by 5 or 6 cents, so that it'll just follow the price up. Suzanne, when I get them in, when I speak to TLT, yeah, your TLT, it's yield inverse to the bond prices. How does it affect the market? Well, typically when bond prices are going up, it's typically negative for the market. But it's not necessarily going to be like that. TLT took a big drop down here today. All right, the tariffs situation is impacting the interest rates on the bonds. And when they first put the tariffs on, or they mentioned they were going to put the tariffs on back in April or whenever it was, 35, 40, 45%, TLT went crazy. The bond rates spiked up huge, and then they did a pause on it 2 days later, right? And the reason they did the pause on it was not because they had second thoughts about tariffs. It was because the bond prices had gone up so much that rolling the U.S. debt was going to become extremely expensive with bond prices that high. So they paused the tariffs, and now they've just been playing around with these things, and we're getting all kinds of news on these tariffs going to be 25%, 15%, 50%, 200%. Who knows what they're going to be? But right now, TLT is going down, so which means bond prices are going up, and it typically is negative to the market. Bank of America down a little bit here today. And Microsoft, really a really nice stock, really nice strong stock here. Really like our position in that. URGN just put in a pretty big candle here. Pulled down this morning, but bounced back up again, 14.14, and right back up, bounce it again, above it again. Okay, let's see what we got here. Again, Harry pointed out Google with relative strength. Yep, moving up here again. You don't want to chase. It's got 180. It's at 180, and it has resistance at 182. $2 to the high upside. This is not a great day for trading. It's just not a great day for trading. SPY. I took a SPY super system trade, an IWM trade, but they're very quick. I think I made 50 cents total on these two, and I did take Microsoft and made $1 on the Microsoft add-on calls from holding the original calls. Took a loss on my Abbott Strangle, about 20-cent loss, and I'm still in that piece of garbage MBLY Strangle, which is not doing anything for me. All right. Mobileye at 1635. Again, I got 1650 puts on this thing, so now I'm up. It's up around 15 cents intrinsic value on this. I paid 47 for it, so that you can do the math on this. It needs to drop down to about 16 bucks. I got a 50-cent sell order in it in case it happens to get there. Really not a great day for trading here. Like I said, really just not that great a day. SPY not doing an awful lot here. I had that nice little trade in it, but again, I watched the T2104, and really is very bearish today. I'm going to try to do something with using cumulative volume indexes, either the VOLD or the T2104, in comparison to what the price action is on any particular stock, to try to come up with another indicator or something that can tell us how the cumulative index and the stocks are, if they're trading together or they're trading diverged or whatever, that we can just see on the chart. But something that I'm going to think about, and I'm not sure how to do it yet. But I want to use it as a criteria, because if the T2104 is bearish, I don't want to be taking too many longs, and there may be some good shorts that I could take. You did a 66.50 straddle and IBIT just now for 57 with an ATR of 1.6. Nice, that's nice. IBIT. Already all over this IBIT here, as it's coming down. Yeah, nice. That's actually a pretty nice one, Ari. Again, it expires today, but it's coming down pretty hard. 66.50, you said? Yeah, it's about 55 cents right now. The ATR is meaningful, but it's not that much meaningful when you get such a short period of time left to go. But I like that. I like that IBIT straddle, 66.50 straddle. I like it. He took the 60. I believe he said the 66.50. Let me look. 66.50. Yes, I just followed you into that as well. I got it for 55 cents. ATR is $1.15. But anyway, IBIT is what I just took. I took an IBIT straddle. I followed Ari into this one. 66.50 put and a 66.50 call. I paid 55 cents for it. I like it. May not work, but I like it. Harry says that was a pretty big move for Bitcoin with much of a catalyst. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the technicals on this thing. That's a nice setup. I mean, if you got a stock that's been moving up and moving sideways here, gap up, big gap up, sideways move, this thing could, this comes down and fills on you anything close. You're talking about a pretty big drop here. All right, so you're talking about 66.50 to 64.50 for 55 cents. Any kind of a decent move in this, you can easily get a double on this thing. And it can also just chop around, so that's always the risk with that. PGR short again, Anthony? Let's look a look. $246.40 needs to stay below 246.40. 246.40, very critical here on PGR. If it gets below there, it's got room down to 240, 247, about $4 to the downside. Definitely a short setup though. Very nice look on that one. Can I say the IBIT straddle again? Yes, 66.50, 66.50 put, 66.50 call. I paid 55 cents for it. Expiring today. This is just a very speculative trade, so don't put a lot of money into it. 66.50 puts, 66.50 calls. I paid 55. It's at 54 cents right now. Mobileye that I paid 47 for is trading at 21 right now. Microsoft trading at 12.30. Could have made another buck off of that one, but that's okay. I still got my original position. All right, that's where we are. Coming up on 12 o'clock. Oh man, oh man. God almighty. And the stock this morning.
I
The
know.
market's not doing anything.
But you're the,
People.
you're their sage.
Sage.
You're the voice of reason
how are you
and
doing?
calm. I'm all right.
I mean, how are you feeling? You know your back still hurts.
Yeah, that's going.
Is Allison online?
Try something. When did that happen?
I don't know. Did he get in? When did he get into your? He was under your bed.
Not the whole time.
But how long was the door been closed? How long ago? You quit started your section.
He didn't come over to me.
No.
No.
I think he was recording the whole thing. He's gonna try to blackmail you.
Blackmail me. Well, actually, Alfie, you're the one in violation here. That's private.
Trying to sue a dog.
Yeah. That is so bizarre.
He's in there transcribing it right now.
Yeah, but usually if he's in there, he'll come up to me,
Usually.
put his little paws. I heard scratching, but it sounded like it was the outside of the foot. It was so soft. No. Well,
I was talking to this guy from Israel, Shad. He's really active in the room. And he had a year's subscription and he said, no, he's the only one that's running some financial difficulty right now, so he's gonna have to leave the room. So, but he's really adds a lot of numbers. So I asked Rory if he can get for free. And they gave made it free till 2099. So he's all set. That's I wanted in the room. Very helpful. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, it's almost lunchtime. Oh, good. Is it scoring good? Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is good. At least you're doing nothing. You can't go
None
outside.
of it is hard, yeah.
He's in.
Oh. None of it is
Put a
hard.
lock him in another room.
Good ass work. Nothing that concerns you.
Harry pointing BQ, getting halted all over the place. Yeah. 1.4 million shares traded, 72 million float. So it's not a real Momo stock, but it's flying up here. Volume today, massive volume compared to what it usually does. Just 1.4 million, but it usually does about 54,000 shares a day. So big move in BQ. BOK Holdings, specialty retail, trading at 750. I'm not going to chase this thing. I mean, you can see this chart like this. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Move up. This is all halted. Move up, halt. Move down, halt. Gap down, halt. Well, I'm not. No, thank you. Here's IBIT moving back up again at 56.58, 66.58. Again, I don't care which way it goes. Just need it to move substantially one way or the other. And it might not. You know, it might not. We'll see. You've got on IBIT the high of the day on IBIT is 67.24. 67.24. So if it goes up, retakes the high of the day, you'll be up money on the thing probably about 50%. And the low of the day so far is at 66.34. But the gap fill is all the way down to 64.63. So just gonna let it go again. It's a speculative trade. It's fairly risky. It may be zero, or it's kind of like a lottery, a lottery strangle or a straddle. Whoops, sorry. I didn't have my mic on. Ari was talking about this BQ. it's been getting halted like crazy. That was the chart I just showed you a minute ago. I don't. I wouldn't trade anything like this. This is a big move up, boom, 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 from 250 up here to 450. This is all halt. This is all halted in there. That's why there's no volume. Boom, boom, boom. Halted. Drop down. Halted. Gap down. Halted again. Move up. Halted. This just no pace. No pace. No. I have no clue which way that stock's going to go. I'm not going to touch it. Amazon moving through the high of the day. Shy pointing out. Yep. Again, I'm not chasing Amazon here. It's got resistance at 228, but it's a nice setup. Amazon looks pretty nice on the daily chart. Looks very nice. All right, but it looks like the Qs are starting to get stronger. We'll take a look at the Qs. Yeah, they're moving up. They're moving down. They've gone up to the pivot point and come back down again. Qs are down, what, about 0.15%. SPY right now down 0.38, and IWM, which has been the weakest, down 1.29. Yeah, Qs definitely have gotten stronger than the SPY. The T2104 is still bearish. Hasn't really regained any couple of little pops that I took the SPY as a SPY calls back here on this little move here. Took the profits there, but again, it's reached right back to the VWAP again. This is not a good trading day for the indexes. Again, Microsoft is probably one of the outstanding stocks as far as relative strength all day long. Microsoft another leg higher. Amazon, Google, yep. Even Meta is coming off the lows. Yeah, the Mag 7 are starting to show a little bit of a pop here. Meta took kind of a hit today. Surrounding Microsoft is beautiful. Yeah, Microsoft is let's look at the daily chart why we took this then. All right, so here's Microsoft. Here's the 5-minute. Looks beautiful. But let's look at the daily chart because this is why we traded. You see the green, 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 green. See the move here? Pulled back a little bit yesterday, moving up again today. This is a beautiful pattern. Here's the TC2000 version of this. Again, I got an algo line here that's moving up. I'm not sure if this is going to offer much resistance at all, but if it gets up there to 509, we're going to be up pretty good money on this trade. So, but this is a beautiful trade. Look again, the context of what this trade looks like. Right, this is what it's done recently. Right, big volume, moved up on earnings. Just been moving up ever since earnings. You notice how it just follows this 8. The white line just follows this up, goes down, breaks through it, touches the 15, bounces, moves up through it, comes down to the 8, bounces again, moves sideways. Now it's moving up. It comes down to the 8. This yesterday bounced, today bounced again. I mean, this is for a technical setup. For somebody like myself that's a technical trader, this is the thing of beauty. This Microsoft setup. SPY coming down now. couple of new signups.
You signed up?
Finally got Rory to respond.
Still not?
Oh, I saw you responded this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I wanted to get that guy signed up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I sent an email, I sent a text, couldn't get anything, messages. So I asked Mark. I said, Mark, is Rory around? Next thing I know, I get a response from Rory.
Pissed off at you or something?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why it would be.
You're giving him so much work.
Yeah, but I'm generating money for him
Oh,
too.
I know.
Goes INKT with another big move. Again, I'm not in this one, but I had made money in it this morning. Now it's up 700%. INKT with another leg up. Again, it's a low probability trading environment. This INKT, I'm not going to chase it up here. This is a crazy stock, but it's, you know, it's trading at 67. It could be 80 in 30 seconds. This is it right here. It's coming. I'm watching the 8. You see how it trades off the 8? There's the yellow line here is the VWAP. See how it came up, touched the VWAP, bounced. Now it's moving back up again. Microsoft with really good relative strength here.
Yeah. I thought of that. Stretch. Do a little stretchy, stretchy. Huh? That was it?
Oh, I have already done that. I did my physical therapy stuff.
Oh, good. Good. That's pretty. Down or going?
Microsoft, another push higher here. Let's see where we're at. 1303. Microsoft pretty much back, getting close to where we paid for it here. 1370 after that pullback. Pretty nice. NKT still moving up here. Crazy, crazy stock. Very, very difficult to trade these things. You got to be really, really cautious, and you got to be careful about. You got to be able to read price action on these kind of stocks. This has the 8 right now. The 8 exponential moving average is about 59. 59 is trading almost $6 above there right now. And a breakout on this thing would be a break above 67.73. 67.73. Okay, let's see where we are. We've got over here on YouTube. Sebastian, what do I think of GPRE for a longer term swing? Let me take a look at GPRE. I haven't traded this before. Yeah, I think I like it. I mean, it's $8 right now. It's got resistance at $9. It's above the 200-day moving average. This is what you're looking at. So this is your key here. It's got to stay above this purple line. That's the 200-day moving average. It needs to stay above the 200-day simple moving average, and then you got room up to 9, which is pretty good. I mean, $1 and $8 is pretty good. But that's the way I look at it. And this is a nice context. Notice the bull flag, big volume, right there. Moves sideways as it gets extended from the 8, then just follows the 8 right up. You might want to, you could take it here. I think personally, I'd be waiting for another little pullback to see if this 200 is tested. And the 200 is sloping down, which is a little bit of an issue. You want it to slope up, but I like it okay. It's a decent setup. And KT just kind of flopping around here right now. SPY, very choppy. This is a low probability trading environment. Very, very choppy. Triple Qs trying to bounce. IWM, the weakest index, trying to bounce a little bit. And again, Microsoft, really beautiful. Just, it doesn't care what the market's doing. Amazon's been strong, also is trying to pull back a little bit. Google, also strong, was trying to pull back a little bit. Again, Microsoft has got the best relative strength right now. All right, I'm going to get ready to get some lunch. I'm going to go ahead and close down YouTube. Thanks, everybody on YouTube, for being here today. Again, go to rightlinetrading.com if you'd like to get some information on joining my room and the alert service, or buying the software. The SPY Super System software right here is a wonder. This thing is a huge help, letting you know whether institutions are in the trades or not. So you can get all your information at rightlinetrading.com to look at that. All right, everybody. Thanks for everybody on YouTube. We'll see everybody on YouTube on Monday. Have a great weekend.